Status endangered species in Malaysia. Malaysia, including Malaysia Borneo, is one of the most biodiverse countries in Asia with more than over 200 endemic which is native species. However, most of the Malaysian wildlife is under threat, but to what level? Currently, the top 5 endangered animals are Malayan tiger, Malayan taipei, Bornean orangutan, Asian elephant, and black shrews. What makes species endangered? A species can become endangered due to natural causes. However, the most common factor when it comes to species decline is human activity. The diagram shows the human activity that causes the species in danger. The exponential rise in the human population is one of the factors, plus rapid urbanization and overconsumption have led to decline in wild habitats and animals. Eventually, this makes species become endangered. Ideally, this should not happen. In contrast, classifying species as endangered can help to highlight the issue. Additionally, it can help to raise awareness and encourage conservation actions. Ultimately, though, political will is needed.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, sir. My name is Muhammad Hazif bin Muarazif. But right now, I will present to you about the objective of our research. So the first statement here say the issue about status endangered species in Malaysia quite being discussed or expressed by many people. So the topic is this issue is very hot in all around the world, not just from Malaysia, because all around the world they have their really specific species to preserve. So this topic also are really quite discussed, especially for the animal scientists. So that's really quite big interest to our team to discuss. And the second statement says species like Malayan tiger, orangutan, Malayan taipei, Borneo Asian elephant are most endangered species in Malaysia that require protection and preservation from the community. So all these endangered species are really need protection and preservation because they are almost in pace of the extinction. And the last statement here said the animal are have special unique characteristics, such as our animal's pride, Malayan tiger, which is have a furry fur around of his head that are really unique for the society or any scientist to research. Okay, so that's why all the scientists name the Malayan tiger as Panthera tigris jacksoni, because the Malayan tiger are really deserve the name Panthera because of his furry fur around of his neck. Next, I will present to you about the situation of endangered species in Malaysia. So we have 4 different species, which is orangutan, Malayan taipei, Borneo Asian elephant, and Malayan tiger. So all these animals are really in different percentage, which is for orangutan right now are quite stability for the endangered species, but the scientists also predicted for the less than 50 years this species will also extinct, because for right now in 2020 only the orangutan has 65.50% for orangutan, so which is more stability, right? And for the second one animal is Malayan taipei. So right now taipei are rarely found in Malaysia, which is they are really targeted by the pusher, and which is we discuss later. And for Borneo Asian animals, so elephants are not really quite reproduce, okay, especially for the Borneo Asian animal, because they are really have a unique characteristics. They are also less in the productive. Same goes to our animals, right? Malayan tiger, which is predated at less than 250 left, which is the Malayan tiger. Also same goes to the Borneo Asian elephant, which is they are less in a reproductive to survive of their next species. So all these situations the really critical state here is the Malayan tiger. So that's all for me.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Halimah Tanani Zambi Rosli. For the next parts, I will explain about the factor affecting status as in danger. So, animals become in danger due to growing human population, pollution, the introduction of other exotic species in the same region, destruction of habitat, hunting and fishing, poaching, exotic species, virus or disease. We know that humans are largely responsible when animals become extinct, endangered or threatened. Here's some reason. So pollutions, they have oil spill, acid rain and water pollutions have been devastating for many species of fish and birds. So solid waste, chemical and pollutant from human activities enter the ocean, causing injury, illness and even death to the animal in the sea. So thousands of chemicals contaminate the marine environment, so of which many accumulate in the tissue of sea turtle, affecting their locomotion, brain functioning and reproductive success. The animal in the sea also consume plastic and marine debris which are harmful to their digestive system. So for the destruction of habitats, humans destroy precious habitats. So the natural environment of a living thing when they fill swamps and marshes and dam river and cut down trees to build homes, roads and other development. So for exotic species, when animal or plants arrive into a new habitat from a foreign place, they sometimes introduce disease that the native species can fight. So these exotic species can also prey on the native species. So animal endangerment also have natural causes. So of course, species endangerment and extinction can happen without human interface. So extinction is a natural part of evolution. So fossil records show that long before came along. So factors such as overspecialization, competition, sudden climatic change, and catastrophic events like volcanic eruptions and earthquake drove the decline of numerous species. Next, there are several detrimental repercussions of endangered species environments. Water quality, natural calamities, and the presence of people are only a few examples. So this is a negative effect on the environment of endangered species. How does it affect environment on species getting in danger? It has an impact on the environment since the food chain will always lead to the people, resulting in a lack of food. So we know that a food chain shows how energy is transferred from one living organism to another via food. So it is important for us to understand how the food chain works so that we know what are important living organisms that make up the food chain and how the ecology is balanced. So food chains are important because they show the intricate relationship in ecosystem. They can reveal how each organism depends on someone else for survival. So food chains also display what happens when a problem occurs and a producer or consumer is lost. So entire communities can collapse. Last but not least, how do endangered species impact on the environment and society? Endangered species are by definition scarce. As a result, their environmental impact is negligible. The influence on society varies depending on the species and how much people in the society care about them. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Fatin Aliana binti Muhammad Hassan. I am from S120-4A and for this subject, I was assigned to do a conclusion and recommendation parts for this case study which is endangered species. From the case study, we can conclude that with these endangered species issues, this surely will bring the great impact to our ecosystem in Malaysia. One of the impacts is ecosystem is slowly falling apart because the endangered species disrupting food chain by losing the number of their species. For example, the prey become predators when the predators losing the number of its existence. That makes the prey fighting for its prey with each other for survival because their number increasing when there is less or normal predator and the food is becoming less. It makes their population become bigger and they're losing their prey, then they will go through extinction eventually. We reach the recommendation parts. Okay. For this recommended shot, we can see that to overcome the situation of the endangered species, we should treating all small population as one meta population, because when the group of small population live too far apart, they're more likely to die out. Other than that, wildlife biologists predicts what will happen to entire species when they go through extinctions. They also helps to protect endangered species by using the idea of treating all small population as one meta populations. This is one of the safe way to save the. Next, we should use less food or nutrition that contains threat to other species, especially endangered species, to increasing their populations. For example, the rainforest has been go through deforestation just because of the humans that make way for plantations such as palm oil. This destroy home to endangered species, and they has nowhere to go. For example, orangutan lose their home because of the palm oil plantations. Lastly, to overcome this situation is to captive breeding endangered species using technology such as art, known as advanced reproductive technology used by scientists. It's also to increase the population of endangered species. That's all from me. Thank you.